1 second. Whatever. Grab that. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, it's good to see you. Good to see everyone. It's been about almost 3 months since I've been here. And I can hear all of you. Where you been? What's going on? We missed you. You're back? I thought we were rid of you. Your videos are terrible. I hear all of you. It's fine. No big deal. I've kind of taken the past few months off. And I'll get into why I did that. Where my mind was in doing so. It's been a pretty good past few months. I've been okay. Hope you've all been okay. Been doing well. Hope life's been working out for you. And if it hasn't, I definitely hope things start to improve. I'm coming back to tell you that I am, of course, back, and I'm here to stay. I've made a decision that this is definitely something I want to continue to do. I kind of wanted to give you some background on me, myself, a little bit about my life. Don't want to go over too much. I'll save that for maybe another video later. But I just kind of wanted to talk and ramble a little bit. Apologies if this is not the most relaxing video in the world. This is more of an informative sort of thing. If you find it relaxing, perfect. If you don't, that's fine. No big deal. I'm sorry. So, let me go back to where everything kind of started when I was a wee lad. No, I'm not going back that far. Let's go back to 2011. It's about 5 years ago. I was working, used to work at a grocery store, and low paying job, no big deal. Well, I ended up moving from that job to a better job, much better job, much higher pay. It ended up setting me up with, everything I needed for my apartment and everything at the time. So I worked this job for about 4 years, from when I was 21 to when I was 25 in 2015, which was last year. And then this job was great. The pay was good, benefits were fantastic, everything was awesome in terms of what you look for in just a job in general. It was a desk job, it was a cubicle-based job, I was on the phones, that sort of thing. I'm not going to get into too many specifics about who I worked for or what I did, but the pay was good, and I was doing very, very well for myself at that point, especially with money and working towards retirement. And things were going really, really well. I was moving up in the company, I was making more money, I was getting recognition from management, I really hit my stride there, and I was doing fantastic things. But after about 4 years, I got myself definitely settled, and I got myself on a path to, going farther with the company and becoming more, submersed into everything they do, and that sort of thing, and moving up the chain of command, if you'll say. I stopped, and I thought, you know what, now would be a wonderful time to rethink my entire life. Because, I didn't have any kids. I don't have any kids. I don't have a wife. I'm not, I don't have any of those, I guess, burdens, for lack of a better word, especially financially. And I'm not saying, of course, wife and children are a burden, but they hold a financial obligation, to take care of them and hold that sort of thing. You got to feed your kids, you got to get, they need clothes, that sort of thing. So I didn't have that. All the money I had was kind of my own. Ton got shoveled into savings and all that stuff. So I was doing really well. A bunch of money went to the 401k. So I looked towards my future, and I said, well, here's what I got going for me. I could work here for the next 30 years, do very well for myself. Company was extremely stable. Business is a business that's going to be around forever. It's just always going to be there. The business wasn't going anywhere. I was pretty much secured in this company for the next 30 years. So I could have had a great retirement. I could have retired at 55. Doing the math going forward, I could have had just a lot of money, saved up. This is not accounting for if I decided to have a wife or kids, which is not something I personally want in life. Maybe a wife, not kids. I'm not really a child person, but it's just me. So, pardon. So I looked forward on that. I said, wow, that's fantastic. Not a lot of people, especially kids my age, people my age, about 25, mid-20s, early mid-20s, can say that about, their job or their work, or feel extremely secure and know they can move forward on the, American dream. And, I could have bought a house. I could have done so many things. So I thought about that, and I thought, that's fantastic. But then I thought about, I'm going to be sitting in a cubicle for the next 30 years. I quit. I'm not having any of that. I thought of that time interim, what I'd have to do to get there, and it's like, I'm not working in this restrictive environment for the next 30 years. I have, over those 4 years, I built confidence in myself. I wasn't very confident in myself before then. I wasn't at all. I didn't think much of myself at all. And especially after how well I did in that company for those 4 years, and where I was going to go, and, what I was going to do, and I was going to be successful, and all that bullshit. As I look back at it now, it really was a bunch of crap. Because it wasn't using my mind to the best of its ability. It was just using it for the company, extremely restrictive. Do this, A, B, and C, fall in line, and you'll be taken care of. And I couldn't do that. I couldn't make it. I couldn't hit that red button and do it. I couldn't be like, yep, I'm signed in, this is what I want to do. No, can't do it. So, early 2015, to the shock of some of my fellow employees and especially my managers and that, I quit. I just said, I'm done. And I've taken the past year and a few months off. And it's been wonderful. It's been awesome to be able to do that. I moved back home. I live with my brother and sister, and they've been extremely supportive, so I owe them all the credit in the world. They're very, wanted to know my thought process, but as soon as they heard it, they're like, by all means, go, do it. So they've both been extremely, extremely supportive. My friend's been supportive of everybody, and it's been a hell of a change to kind of do that for myself. And I know some of you are wondering, what the hell does this have to do with anything? I'm getting there. You will not be in the dark forever, I promise. So, all of a sudden I had no job. But as I said, I had put some money away. It's not like I was broke. So I understand that this is an extreme luxury that I was able to do this. I know too many people who would love to do this sort of thing, and because of finances and what they have to pay for, and nobody can afford anything anymore, and it's really sad, but they're not able to do that. They're not able to pursue their dreams as openly as I've been able to. So that's sad, but I do realize that, what I have been able to do, just quitting work and taking a year off is a huge luxury. It's gigantic. So I don't take that for granted at all. But anyways, so this past year and this is before I started the channel, but I quit like in January, late January, I think. And I wanted to try YouTube. And I got a camera, this camera. You can't see it right now because it's right there. But it got a camera, cheap plastic tripod, which it's sitting on right now, nothing fancy. And I said, all right, let's do this. Now, my interest was not ASMR at that point. I had known about ASMR. I've been watching ASMR for years. But I wanted to do something different, so I went in a different direction. And I started making videos for that. And I started like in March. It took me like 2 months to convince myself that I should start doing this, which I find rather foolish, because it's like, what's the worst thing that can happen? Nobody watches your video? Like, So I started making videos, and they didn't go well. And I'm not saying in terms of views. Well, actually I am, because they didn't get many views at all. And I'll get into what subject I had done these videos on at a later time. That'll be another video. I'll talk about that. But I started making these videos, and people watching them, what bothered me is I put a lot of creativity and thought into these videos. A lot. And I spent a lot of time trying to be creative in the way I was doing it as opposed to other people. And I felt like I was successful in doing so. I felt like my videos were very unique in that sense. But the subject matter of my videos, people were more interested upon what I was doing and didn't care about the creative aspect of it. It meant nothing to the viewer, just because of what I was making videos about. And again, I'll explain that some other time. But basically my creative aspect, which was kind of my whole point, meant nothing in that field. People didn't watch for your creativity. People watched for what you're physically doing. And it wasn't working for me. So I stopped making those videos, kind of angrily. I got a little upset, annoyed, not upset. I didn't have a temper tantrum, but I was annoyed, and I deleted them all. Aside from one, I still have one floating around somewhere. All the other ones are gone. Deleted off YouTube, I deleted them off my computer. I don't have them anymore. I kind of was a little frustrated with the whole experience. So I did that for like a month and a half. wasn't feeling very fulfilled creatively. I realized that once I started making these videos that it was the creative drive that pushed me forward. It was how cool can I make this? What can I come up with some unique idea? There's got to be something creative, something thought-provoking. I got to do something. So months went by. I stopped doing this like in April or something, and before May, and the next couple months I did some traveling. Traveled all sorts of different states, saw all sorts of great things, learned a lot, and I said, well, I have this camera, and I don't want it to go to waste. I'm like, what else can I do for YouTube? I'm like, I enjoyed making the videos, but I want my creative aspect to be realized. And I'm not saying like, oh, I need to be validated. You need to validate me. Look at me, I'm wonderful. You need to acknowledge that. That's not what my mind was, but I needed at least some percentage of people to kind of realize the creative aspect of it, and I'm having a hard time putting it in words, but I think you know what I'm trying to say. I just wanted people to, I suppose, appreciate, creativity and be watching it for, I wanted people to watch my videos for the creative aspect of them. I suppose that's the point I want to make. I wanted people to watch my videos for my own creativity. I wanted that to be kind of a calling card of my own, that I can do something creative, and people would look for that. And creativity was so far down on the list to where it was almost non-existent in that medium that, I gave it up. So I'm like, what other aspects, what other types of videos can I do? I'm like, do I want to vlog? Do I want to do that? And I'm like, well, heck, I mean, who cares about my life, right? So vlogging is, I didn't feel like doing vlogging because I'm like, I can't even think of any interesting aspect of my life, to vlog about over and over and over and over again. So I'm like, yeah, I didn't really feel like that would be interesting enough. But another night goes by, and I'm watching more ASMR videos, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? This is awesome. I should do this. I should try this. I'm like, it's the easiest thing in the world to get into in terms of like YouTube. And some people complain, they're like, oh, it's too easy. You can just take a plastic bag and do this with it, and you'll get views. And it's like, well, yeah, it's easy. I can sit up there, I'm talking to you right now, like vlogging is easy. I can do whatever, so what? If you make something that people want to view and it fulfills you and you feel good about it, who cares? It's wonderful. But I wanted to put the heavy creative aspect into it. So I said, this is what I want to do. Then 2 months went by and I did nothing. I did nothing. I was such a fool. I should have started right away, but I didn't. I was like, I don't know what I'll really do though, and I don't know. And I doubted myself. I doubted myself. I was stupid. And I look back on it now, and it was just so easy. It was dumb. So what threw me over the edge is I like stupid things. I like buying stupid things. I don't spend a lot of money on myself, but I find something stupid and I buy it. So I was on, you can see I have some stupid hats and other stupid stuff. But I was online and I'd always wanted one of those horse masks. And I don't have it with me, but it's my first video. If you scroll all the way back, it's made with that horse mask. And I saw it and I'm like, what if I made a role play where I wore this horse mask? Because I was like also kind of nervous to jump out in the ASMR community, like show my face. I don't know why. I was scared of doing that, but I don't know, just kind of throwing your face up on the internet, it's weird. It's a weird feeling, especially if you're more reserved. I'm a more reserved person, and I used to be very, very reserved. Now I'm very talkative, very social, very out there. So it's easier now, but I was still nervous about doing it. But I said, well, here, if I buy this mask, I'll do it. So I bought it. It came in 2 days later, and I made the video that night. And I made it, and I uploaded it. And I did it very, very quickly. Made it, edited it, uploaded it extremely quickly. Kind of like ripping a Band-Aid off. I just said, do it. Get it, sit down, hit the record button. I did the video, edited, uploaded it, went to bed. Because I didn't want to think about it too much. Because, you know, if I started thinking about it, I was going to start being too critical on myself and too, oh, this part sucks, I need to redo this. And I'm like, you know what, I just need to do it. It's not going to be fantastic. I don't think it's very good at all, but I just need to get it out there, so I did it. Next morning I wake up and there's feedback. Good feedback. So it was, you know, this is cool. I'm like, really? You know, oh, I want to see more from you and all this stuff. So, wow. Somebody liked that? Somebody enjoyed that? That was a cool feeling. So I had never gotten that for the, you know, several videos that I made previously. Never gotten any of that. Anything about myself. It was all about what I was doing. You know, it didn't feel very fulfilling at all. So I went at it, and I enjoyed it. And you know, I made videos all throughout, you know, the rest of the year. I did have to take like a month and a half off, unfortunately, because my room got remodeled. The room we're sitting in right now, this closet's new. Everything here is new. Hardwood floor instead of carpet. The room is a wreck. It took forever for it to get completed, and I had like nowhere to film because, you know, I live with my brother and sister. I have 2 other people in the house, and I kind of refuse to let the video making get in the way of their activities. You know what I mean? If they're up and watching TV or something, I'm not going to tell them to turn off the TV because I want to film. Obviously, I just can't do that. You know, so usually late at night is when I'll film. Side now, you know, I have a house to myself. It's the middle of the day. It's actually beautiful outside. So, anyways, I took that, you know, one break, and I came back to it, and so I continued making videos up until my last video was March, about 3 months ago. And I got some amazing feedback, and I made some friends. I got feedback from several different creators, some more notable than others, but just people were responding to what I was doing, and it's like, what? You like this? Like, what the hell? You know, I don't know what I'm doing. You know, I'm just trying to, you know, polish shit. That's literally what I'm doing. You know, that's what I felt like I was doing at the time, and I eventually developed some confidence. And obviously, I'm doing okay because people are enjoying it. You know, and I had some other people share my videos, and it was just the best feeling in the world that I was doing something right, and that, you know, quitting my job turned into something, and it felt ridiculously fulfilling, even though, you know, in the scope of YouTube, I have less than zero influence. At all. You know, I'm not pulling in hundreds of thousands of views. I'm not pulling in, but heck, a video reached like 100 views, and I'm like, oh, that's 100 people that freaking watched this enough to count as a view. What is that, like 10 seconds at least? Wow. So I continued doing it, and I decided after I was in March, what's the last video that I made, I decided, let's reevaluate. And now we're getting into my absence. I wanted to reevaluate everything, because quitting my job was a fantastic decision. I don't regret it yet. But it's getting to the point, you know, with money and everything, that I'm going to need to find another job within the next few weeks. So I'm going to have to start that job search. But that's fine, no problem. I'm just looking for some part-time thing. I might go back to the grocery store. Who knows? That'd be cool. You know, no shame in that. So gonna go back to work, but I decided, I'm like, I need some away time from ASMR and the ASMR community to definitely make sure that this is something I want to do. And that sounds really asinine to say, oh, if you decide you want to do it, why would you pull yourself away from it? Well, two reasons I pulled myself away from it. One, I wanted to make sure I would miss it. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but there's been very little in my life that I've done and stuck with for a long time. I can only think of like 2 or 3 things. I've started and stopped so many different projects and so many different hobbies and so many different things that it's almost felt like a failure. It's like, oh my gosh, but I want to discover so many new things and do so many things with my life that I just want to learn as much as possible. So as I was saying, I basically decided I would take this break. I wanted to make sure that if I stopped doing it, I would miss doing it and want to come back. And that was apparent within the first few weeks. It was very apparent. I was getting jittery. I wanted to make a video. I came up with all sorts of ideas, or I had ideas up to that point. But I shut my brain down to ASMR completely. I didn't even watch it. I removed myself from the community completely. Aside from one small project that I worked on that you'll all know of at a later point regarding ASMR. But I said I need to pull myself away from this, because if I pull myself away completely and I don't miss doing it and I move on and it feels fine to me, then that's where I need to go. And I know some of you are probably like, well, why didn't you tell us that's what your thought was and that? I'm like, well, because I didn't want to worry anyone, because I felt like I was going to come back. I felt like that was definitely what I was going to do. In my heart, that really felt like where I was going to go, but I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to say that. And I also didn't want to throw out the, I'll be back, maybe, I don't want to do that to anyone. And so I just kind of disappeared for a little while. I posted very little on Twitter. Did post a picture of my mac and cheese that I opened, and it had a smiley face on my Twitter and Instagram, which is awesome, and you should check it out because it's the happiest damn macaroni and cheese you'll ever see. So, but it became very apparent that I missed it very quickly, and so then why didn't you come back, right away? 2 reasons. Again, I wanted to be sure, which seems foolish, especially now in my mind. It's like, come on, like I don't miss things generally. Usually I move on, I'm okay with it, and I feel like I can let go of something that I kind of enjoyed, but it wasn't really my shtick. So that's one reason. The second reason is I kind of wanted, with these last few months of my joblessness, we'll say, my unemployment, I wanted to at least live a life with no responsibility for a few months, which has been the biggest luxury ever. I don't have no job. Wake up anytime I want. I've tried some different sleep schedules. They've been kind of weird and funny. I've stayed up for 40-something hours playing video games straight. Just kind of, I don't want to say being lazy, but I do want to say being lazy in a sense. Like, a few weeks I was lazy as heck. But God, was it wonderful to do that. If you ever get the chance to do that, do it. Not forever, but gosh, if you get a chance to take a week vacation, just sit on your ass. Oh, it's wonderful. So I kind of did that for the past 3 months. I did some more traveling. I visited some other states in the U.S. and, did some other things and learned some other stuff, but I didn't really tie myself to anything, and I didn't want to tie myself to doing videos. I didn't want to tie myself, I didn't want to have any responsibility aside from eating, sleeping, of course, household chores, mowing the lawn, that kind of stuff. Of course, you got to do that. But that's what I wanted to do. So now that I'm getting to the point that I'm going to be doing job search again, and I'm going to be getting back into life, real life, and that sort of thing. I'm coming back, and I'm staying. I'm here now, and I will be here. In terms of scheduling, when you can expect to see me, I want to touch on that, of course, because a lot of people find that important. I find that important too, especially a motivator for myself to make sure that I'm, making videos for you guys as well, because that's just as important. As I make videos for myself, I make them for you guys too. You can definitely expect a video from me every week. In terms of what time of the week, I can't guarantee what time. It's probably going to be different every week for a little bit, because I am doing the job search and I need to leave my schedule open for interviews and that sort of thing and phone calls, and I just can't iron down like Tuesdays. I can't do it. It's going to be moved around too much for me to, guarantee a slot. After I start working, once I get that job, we'll see how it goes with the job and scheduling, and if I can, guarantee a day off every week that I can make a video for you or do something or whatnot. That I'd love. I'd love to say every Tuesday you'll get a video from me. Every Tuesday and Friday you'll get a video from me. I would love that. But right now it's just not a feasible thing. But one video a week you will be getting from me. I do have a lot of ideas, new ideas, unique ideas that have been bouncing around my head and are down on paper that I'm really excited to start putting together for you. And I also have some more traditional videos that I've thought of that I want to do, which are, I know some of you guys like more of the traditional stuff, but you sure as hell be ready, because I'm going to start doing some crazy stuff here, and strap in, because it's going to be fun. So that's kind of the gist of it. It's where I've been. It's my life, part of it. If you enjoy this kind of thing, we're just kind of talking and ramble a little bit, let me know, please. I'll do more of them about my life, and I want to do more of them. I plan on it, whether you like it or not. But I plan on doing more of this sort of thing, so, let me know if you liked it. It's great. If you didn't like it, let me know. That's fine. These will be few and far between as of right now, but that's pretty much it. That's my exciting news of the hour. So I will let you go, and I will see you next week, where I will have a new video up for you. And I have another project that I worked on that I'm not sure when that is. I'll let you know on my social media when that happens. But that's something I'm extremely excited for. So I'll let you know about that. So if you don't, my links for my social media are down in the bottom if you want to follow and check out my stupidity and my sour attempts at humor. You can do that. But that's it. See you all next week. And I'm super glad to be back. And I grew this beard. What do you think? Yeah?